Hi, I'm Hassan from the hotglue team, and today I'm going to be doing a quick demo of our Sage 50 UK connector. So what I'm going to do to get started is create a new flow called accounting, and we're going to give it a description, import your accounting data, and we're going to enable the Sage 50 UK source. So we're going to click on Sage 50 UK, wait for it to load. Okay, now that it's enabled, we'll skip to the target section. For now, I'm going to leave this blank. And as you can see, we've run no testing jobs so far. So now that we have the flow configured, we're going to jump into what the user experience is like to set up this connector. So every user, you'll give them the Sage 50 hotglue connector, which is a executable file they'll install on the machine that's running Sage 50. So to start, we're going to run the exe, and this is going to generate a folder in the app data directory under the .hotglue folder. And you can see here there's a config.yml file that is generated. And inside of this, you can see there's two sections that are relevant. So first, there's a hotglue section, which specifies all your hotglue details. And so we're going to start by filling that in. So these details are all public. You'll be able to share them with your customers. So there's first the tenant ID. So we'll set that to demo for this. Then there's the public API key. So we'll grab that from the hotglue UI, along with the environment ID, and finally your flow ID. And so that's the ID of the accounting flow where Sage 50 is enabled. Finally, we're going to fill in the Sage details, and I have Sage 50 running here. We are looking at the customer screen, and we need to go ahead and fill in the password, the username, and also the DSN. The DSN you can think of as what's the name Windows has to access the database that Sage 50 uses. So I'm going to go ahead and fill all this in. And now we'll go over to the logs of the Sage 50 connector. And we can see here it's successfully pushing the data. Towards the top, you can see when we first started the service, it was not able to connect to Sage 50 because we didn't fill in the config. As soon as we filled it in, the data started coming through to hotglue. So let's step over to hotglue and look at the tenants tab. And you can see that the demo tenant that we configured has shown up here. If we click a view as tenant, we can see the accounting flow has been linked, and we can go ahead and run a testing job to sync the data that was pulled out of Sage 50. So I'm going to click new job here, select Sage 50 UK as a source, and start. So while that's running, I'll pause the video and we'll come back once it's done. All right. And we're back. The job has completed. And what I'm going to do is download the data that this job cloned. So the data has been downloaded as a zip file, and I'm going to open this up. You can see there's a sync output folder, which is the data that came out of Sage 50, and this sales ledger Excel file contains all the customers from Sage 50. And so you can see we have 4 customers here, Revlock, Pear, Apple, and Acme Corp, which matches exactly what we had in Sage 50. So that's it. We went through setting up the Sage 50 connector and connecting a customer. Thanks for watching.